Joe Biden is running for re-election. He formally announced his run this week. He put out a video announcement. Let's take a look. Here it is.
Freedom, personal freedom, is fundamental to who we are as Americans.
There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred.
That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy.
This shouldn't be a red revolution.
To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally and that everyone is given a fair shot at making it. But around the country, MAGA extremists are lining up to take on those bedrock freedoms, cutting Social Security that you paid for your entire life while cutting taxes for the very wealthy, dictating what health care decisions women can make, banning books, and telling people who they can love, all while making it more difficult for you to be able to vote. When I ran for president 4 years ago, I said we're in a battle for the soul of America, and we still are. The question we're facing is whether in the years ahead we have more freedom or less freedom, more rights or fewer. I know what I want the answer to be, and I think you do too. This is not a time to be complacent. That's why I'm running for re-election. Because I know America. I know we're good and decent people. I know we're still a country that believes in honesty, respect, and treating each other with dignity. That we're a nation where we give hate no safe harbor. We believe that everyone is equal, that everyone should be given a fair shot to succeed in this country.
Thank you for choosing us.
We know we're a people that can no longer attract the white working class, so we're not going to include any of them.
Every generation of Americans has faced a moment when they have to defend democracy. Stand up for our personal freedom. Stand up for the right to vote and our civil rights. And this is our moment.
Oh, shit.
We the people, democracy.
So if you're with me, go to joebiden.com and sign up. Let's finish this job. I know we can. Because this is the United States of America. There's nothing, simply nothing we cannot do if we do it together.
Oh, my dear Lord.
And there you go. The first thing that struck me was Kamala gets a lot of FaceTime in this ad. She gets a lot of FaceTime in this ad, which is a sign that they know that a couple of things are going to be on voters' minds here, which is, one, Joe Biden enters the race in his early 80s. Actuarial tables, not that we would wish this on anybody, but actuarial tables being what they are, there's a decent chance Kamala has to finish the term. They know that's going to be on voters' minds. There's no escaping that. I think they're smart not to try and deny that by hiding her. They know they're going to have to address this Kamala thing sooner or later. They know she's a drag on the ticket now. And so they figure this is a great opportunity to try and beef her image a bit, because there's no better way to advertise Kamala Harris than to just show her face, put some music under her, and don't let her talk, right? Like, that's a good way to feature her. And so they did that. In terms of the other substance of the ad, look, their message, this was a base ad. Their message is abortion, January 6th. That's it. Voting rights. Abortion, January 6th, and your right to vote for us, basically. That's their message. That's their horse. That's what they have. Like, that's what they can run on. They can't run on anything else. And so, of course, they're going to feature those things. And so, as that goes, was it a terrible ad? I don't think so. As that goes, in that way. Of course, is it winning me over? Obviously not. But, you know, it seems like they understand the issues that they have to run on. They're betting that they can get over the finish line with those issues. I don't think it's a particularly good bet, but it is the best bet they have. What, are they going to go up there and tout their union record? They have no union record. They broke up a rail strike. What, are they going to tout, leadership on the world stage? No leadership on the world stage. The opposite, right? And so this is what they got to run. Look, that's what they got. That's the Democrats for you right there. That's what it is. And so if you like it, you like it.
All right. So, I made a crack about it, but it is worth dwelling on. Yeah. They really decided to lean into the idea that, we have the black vote at least. Maybe they'll be excited by Joe. His numbers are much better with them. Usually these kinds of ads in modern times would have been very diverse.
Right.
You would have shown the white, hard hat guys and, the orange vests working a construction site. And they would have mixed that in with a black church, right? Nah, man. Like they had a couple white people in there in the background. It almost seems like they felt like their base is so built around identity politics and this rhetoric of, hatred for white people that they felt like part of their base might be offended if they put the union guys and hard hats in there, that they might play as white supremacists or something, or catering to Trump voters or MAGA voters.
I was going to say, it's a shame that Tucker's not around for one last monologue. He would have liked that. Notice there are no white people in Democrat commercials anymore. Have you noticed that?
Have you noticed?
Why is that? Why do you think that is? Why can that be?
What do you think they're trying to say?
Barack Obama featured white people in his ads. Why isn't Joe Biden?
But look, you sit down and you spend the kind of time on that. That's not an accident. It's a choice. It's a choice. I mean, it's so glaring because it's not like, 20% or 10% is like a couple of people in the background, man. Like, that's a choice. You know how much time you spend editing things, and that's not an accident.
Well, nothing is by accident in a political ad. There's no such thing as a wasted frame in a political ad.
So what does that tell you their point of view is? It's basically, I think it's a combination of literally they feel like we're not winning white people anyway, and the white people that we do win are voting for us no matter what. Joe Biden could literally shit his diaper on stage and they're going to vote for us no matter what. So we don't have to appeal to them. And the working class whites, we lost them. So forget about that. So let's just lean into people of color who we, still win, even though Republicans are making inroads. And let's just build the ad around that, because any white people who aren't already voting for us, they're not going to vote for us anyway. It's an intentional choice. So you have to think, why did they make that choice? It's not an accidental choice. Why did they decide to only really have people of color in their whole ad?
It also has to do with the electoral map and the new math, right? I mean, this was something that a lot of political sort of numbers crunchers have been talking about for a long time, whereas there's the Rust Belt strategy, and then there's the Sun Belt strategy, which is, across the southern part of the United States, i.e. Arizona, Georgia, maybe Texas, although that has not come around for the Democrats yet. But obviously with Georgia and Arizona going blue, they went blue very narrowly last time. If they go blue again, then you don't need the whole Rust Belt. You only need one or maybe two, depending on how the other states go.
Yeah.
You need Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Wisconsin. You could afford to lose a couple of those if you can win in Georgia and Arizona. Now, in Arizona, the Latino vote is going to decide whether you win or lose.
Which they're not doing very well with that vote.
No. But in Georgia, it's obviously the African-American vote that determines win or lose. And so if the Democrats feel like they can solidify their gains in places like Georgia and Arizona, then that white working class Rust Belt vote becomes much less important. You still got to win one of those states, but you have a lot of margin for error up in the upper Midwest if you can hold that Sun Belt. Now, whether you're going to hold the Sun Belt or not is no guarantee, because Georgia has been extremely close, as has Arizona.
Right.
So none of this is for certain. But and it's not just a racial demographics thing. It's a class composition thing. They have no message for the Rust Belt. White, black, brown, whatever. They have no message for the middle of the country.
He's insanely unpopular. I mean, at least with Trump, what was it? 90% of Republicans wanted him to run again. 70% of Democrats don't want Joe Biden to run again.
Right.
This is what they never think about. And we've seen this again and again in elections. People don't have to decide, like Democrats don't have to decide en masse, I'm not voting for Joe Biden. Enthusiasm matters because, a few 10,000 people deciding it's just not worth standing in line for can make or break an election.
Yeah, no, I mean, these things are definitely decided at the margins. But look, in a sense, like, I know people think, oh, that ad it's horrible. Yeah, I mean, it's horrible to us. Any Joe Biden ad's going to look horrible to us. In terms of also, an ad, he can barely speak. Campaign,
even in his own campaign.
No, he's shitty in that. Yeah, he's shitty there too.
Let's finish the job. He sounds like Muhammad Ali when he started to get Parkinson's, and nobody knew it yet.
Right. Yeah, no, but I mean, look, in terms of the content, in terms of what they were going to feature, I think it was pretty predictable. I mean, those are the issues they have. And also, I mean, he put the image of Trump and DeSantis together, sort of trying to brand them both as MAGA Republicans. But it seems pretty obvious that he is hoping to God that he gets to run against Trump.
Please clap.